quite a good result on his debut. In fact, a podium would be awesome for both him and the team. But it's not exactly on the cards at the moment. He's still 5 seconds behind Nicolas, and so is Boivorov, in fact. But yeah, Boivorov also wants to get a good result to start his year. He was chanting for the title last year, and that is, well, the Dutchman's made it through. Van Nieuwenhuijzen is through to 4th position now. So that's Boivorov down to 5th place. No, De Bock is... Mestorio and De Bock are really fighting each other quite hard at the moment, and it's hard to say who's ahead. Watkinson's in the pit at the moment. It does seem like Van Nieuwenhuijzen has made his move stick and is into 4th position. Greenwald's lead is getting a lot smaller now. It's down to 4 seconds. It was 6 seconds just a couple laps ago. So Dagnall's pitting, so that's why he was high up. He hadn't pitted yet. Yeah, Hawkin is catching Greenwald quite fast now, so that should be an interesting fight for the lead. Even if once an overtake happens, it might end quite soon. But Greenlaw is leading at the moment, although Hawkin is catching up. And those two are actually complete rookies, so it's really a race for the new generation at the moment. With Phillippe Nicolas, the best person representing sort of the old guard in that position. Again, is 5 seconds behind Nicolas, 15 seconds behind Dan Greenlaw. Boivorov is 5th, Schiller 6th, and De Bock has no, he's not actually made his way past Mestorio. Mestorio is in the pit at the moment. So that's De Bock up into 7th, and about 1.5 seconds behind Jean-Luc Schiller for 6th place. So Mestorio is in the pit and he's staying out of them at the moment. We are 30 laps through the race, so getting close to halfway now, but still quite a way away yet. Milnester's 8th now. Marco Jancher is in 9th at the moment, so if he can make his tires fast, he might actually get a good result out of this. Jean-Vincent Albertini is 10th in Venturi. I don't know where Shinobu Katayama is, his teammate. I think she was involved in Carter Simpson's accident earlier, and we haven't seen her since. So that's Neuberg in the pits, as well as Walter Lambrix, we saw there earlier. We've got Terry Hawkin on camera now, and he is really reining in Dan Greenlaw. He's almost less than 2 seconds behind, so I think Terry Hawkin is going to win. Well, I don't think he is going to win it, but he is definitely now the prime contender for the race win. Only 3 retirements at the moment: Van Rakens, Bizzari, and Kara. Oh, Mark Dagnall's just set the fastest lap, 1 minute 8.099. He's still only in 13th place, but if he does manage to make through, that would be an awesome drive through the field. But Tim Madison's in the pit as well. Dan Greenlaw is still leading, but Hawkin is now less than 1.5 seconds behind him. I don't think Greenlaw stands much of a chance against Hawkin at the moment. He's just that much faster. Boivorov pits, which puts Schiller up into 5th and De Bock in 6th. There's so many pits at the moment, I can't really stay on top of the strategies, but at the moment Thomas de Bock is en route to some good points, but he probably won't be fighting for the podium this time around, especially with Greenlaw and Hawkin being so much faster than everyone else. They're over 10 seconds ahead of Phillippe Nicolas, who's in 3rd place. Oh, and no, Boivorov is out of the race now. He just pulled into the pit and he's not come out. That's the end of the race for Alexei Boivorov. No, he went into the pits, came out and crashed. That's what happened. That is the end of the race for Alexei Boivorov in the Simpson. how did he do that? That was a big accident. That was obviously coming out of the pits. We saw him go in a bit earlier. And, oh yeah, that. Oh no, he's collided with Albertini, I think. He's run wide, vaulted on the curbs like Martin McFly has done, and he just collided with Jean-Luc Albertini on the way out. And actually, yes, Albertini is actually quite lucky that he didn't also get taken out in that accident. That was quite a hefty shunt, actually. In fact, he was lucky that Boyverov's wheel didn't hit his helmet. That was a really big accident. So that is another race win, or at least a points contender out of the race. Torrente's in the pits. He's already quite a way back after his accident a bit earlier on. But yeah, so that should put him out of the top 15 as well. And indeed, Gregor Pascal is up in there. We're on board with Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen, currently in 4th position. With quite a fair margin either way. He's 3 seconds behind Phillippe Nicolas and 10 seconds in front of Jean-Luc Schiller. So he's on his way to a comfortable points finish for both him and his team, Gauthier. He's the only driver of the team still left in the race after Danny Van Reken had a mechanical earlier on in the race. I mean, we've got Mark Dagnall now up into 11th place already. That's a good ride from him. And we've already got some drivers getting lapped. That happened a while ago, but we've now got Rederson and Lambrix, 14th and 15th are lapped. So we need 13 first drivers are left on the lead lap, and we're not even halfway through the race. Hawkin is now on just a second behind Dan Greenwald. This is going to be an epic fight for the win. Or if not the win, at least for the race lead. It's a bit too early now to actually talk about the race win. But Hawkin is suddenly catching Greenwald really fast, and they're coming out to actually lap the Swiss driver Gregor Pascal in the Rosenforth. So traffic's going to play an important role in this race, obviously, with such a short track and short laps. Lap traffic is going to be omnipresent, and being able to make it through traffic is an important skill here in Adelaide. That's Greenwald making it through, and crucially, Hawkin does not pass Pascal quite as fast, so that is going to allow Greenwald to build up a bit of a gap again while waiting for Hawkin to clear him. In the meantime, de Bock has passed Jean-Luc Schiller, so he's up into 5th position. That's another person out of de Bock's way. So yeah, quick recap of the top 10. Greenwald still leads, and he's built his gap back up to Hawkin, who finally passes Gregor Pascal. Phillippe Nicolas is in 3rd place, Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen is 4th, then Thomas de Bock 5th, Jean-Luc Schiller 6th, Nick Newmester 7th, Fredo Mastogo is 8th, Marco Janssen 9th, Mark Dagnall is 10th, and it's Albertini, Lucarelli, Pascal, Rederson, and Lambrix. And Albertini is fighting with Mark Dagnall over that 10th place, and neither of them is really giving it away, and Mark Dagnall seems to have won it now. Yeah, so the fight for the win is held off for another lap thanks to the lapped car of Gregor Pascal, as Greenwald's gap to Hawkin is now almost 2 seconds. Really isn't that much to say at the moment. We've got Marco Janssen here on our screen, a bit behind Fredo Mastogo. It's a good race by the Austrian, driving for Nurminen. He does bring in, I think he brings in the absinthe money, which appears on the airbox. And Terry Hawkin seems to be losing time. I wonder if he has a problem with his car. If he does, that would be a truly disappointing way to actually end his race. Although it would leave Dan Greenwald with a much easier drive. And yeah, he has fallen over 2 seconds back, so either he's getting off on purpose to make a strategy work for a longer stint, or he actually is having a problem with his car. He's still not letting Nicolas catch him. I think 13 seconds ahead. Phillippe Nicolas, who is actually getting caught by Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen. He's only 2.5 seconds behind him. So I think the Dutch driver might be actually fighting Phillippe Nicolas for the podium places sooner than later. Thomas de Bock still 5th, over 10 seconds behind Van Nieuwenhuijzen. Not really a threat at the moment. And he's building up quite a healthy gap to show over 4 seconds now. We've got Pascal there. I think there was someone at the wall there. I think he's going again. We didn't really see who that was. We've got Van Nieuwenhuijzen now, 2.5 seconds behind Nicolas. He really is catching up quite fast. That's Walter Lambert having a fight with Diego Restaurante. No, it's not. It's not Boyfriend. No, it was Schiller trying to lap him. I think, yeah. We're back with Dan, not Dan Greenlaw, this is Terry Hawkin, who is now 3.5 seconds behind Dan Greenlaw. He's really losing a lot of time, and I don't think that was due to traffic. Or maybe Greenlaw's just managed to find some pace that he hadn't found before. We're back with Mark Dagger now. He's still fighting with Albertini and Marco Jancha. And Nick Normaster, who's right ahead of him. So this is quite a good fight for P8. In fact, P7, as Freddie Mestong is ahead of all of them. This is quite a good scrap, actually. Sorry, Albertini's not involved in this fight, he's quite a way back. But now we've got Marco Jancha struggling to keep Mark Daniel behind him. And I think they're lapping, is that Quentin Retherson? No, it's Retherson's 14th. I think that's David Neuberg they're trying to lap there. So we are still with Mark Dagmar, I believe, who does pass Marco Jancha and takes 9th place. No, that's not right. I think that was Torrente passing Reverson with 14th place. That's what happened. There's Dagmar making a move on Jancha, and it does stick, so that's Mark Dagmar up into 9th position. Got Dan Greenlaw now 4 seconds ahead of Terry Hawkin. So I don't know what was happening in those last few laps where Hawkin was able to catch up to within just a few tenths of a second. But now he's building the gap back up again, quite a healthy one at that. I think it is more a case of Greenlaw picking up the pace as Nicolas is still keeping the gap to Hawkin about 10 seconds. And Van Nieuwenhuijzen is not really catching Nicolas, but the Bock is catching Van Nieuwenhuijzen. Quite scary, but he is. He's about 10 seconds back now instead of the 12 seconds it was a few laps ago. Schiller is now 7 seconds behind the box, and he's becoming less of a threat at the moment. And Mestorio is way behind Schiller, so not really much movement around the points at the moment. Aside from, oh, that's Thomas de Bock coming into the pits. I wonder if this is a scheduled stop. It is quite early in the race, although we are getting close to the halfway mark, and if he is doing 3 stops, and this is an early stop, but it still does make sense. Watch him come out of the pits, let's hope he doesn't make the same mistake that Martin McFly did, or Alexei Boivolov. Oh, he runs wide and he loses a place. That's Mark Daniel up into 7th, but he does not get any damage to his car, which is the most important thing. But actually falling behind Mark Dagger will not do much good for the box office points, because that is another car he will have to get past before he can actually set some quick laps. Ooh, that's an accident there, or at least a tango. I think there was a Mysterio involved. I don't know what happened there. There's Mysterio, there's Albertini in there, there's Katayama, she's getting gapped. What happened there? Oh, Mysterio, and he's stopping by the side of the track. That's the end of Fredo Mysterios' race. That is the end of his race. Yeah, we do have yellow flags. I believe that is the end of Fredo Mysterios' race. So we are having less and less cars. Quentin Redderson's out of the race. We didn't see exactly what happened to him, but he's apparently out of the race as well. We've got the Bock still trying to pass Mark Dagnall for 7th place now, and they are quite close behind Nick Norris. Jean-Luc Schiller is spitting, so that should put him behind this group of cars. And should actually put Mark Dagnall in the points for the first time in this race. Hawkin is now almost 5 seconds behind Dan Greenlaw, so I do think he was just Greenlaw lacking a bit of pace for a moment there. I think Ashley Watkinson is still at the very back after, I believe, an accident with Katayama in the first lap that we now got to see. We still have Dagnall defending from the Bock, so he's doing a very good job. Now we've got 5 drivers out of the race. Van Rakens, Bizzari, Kara, Boivolov, and now... no, 6. Quentin Redderson and Fredo Mysterio. And we now have, with Mysterio's retirement, the Bock up into 7th, and that is Marco Yanscha in 8th place. Albertini and Pascal are in the pits. But that is Marco Yanscha is doing quite a good job this race at the moment. Van Nieuwenhuizen's in the pits. Although that shouldn't change much in the race order. He was quite a way ahead of Neumeister. And de Bock is actually defending from Marco Yanscha at the moment. That's how good the Austrian driver is. And Van Nieuwenhuizen does indeed come out in 4th. Oh, and he spins! He spun! And Torrente's run wide and he stopped. What's happening? Pascal had a moment and a spin, and he's driven Torrente out. And Nieuwenhuizen just had a spin there as well. So now those were 3 spins completely separately. I don't think Torrente doesn't seem to be going again, and Nieuwenhuizen seems to have stalled the car. And that, I believe, is all due to Rebel Pascal having a bit of a spin. He's gone going again. But it looks like Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuizen and Diego Alvarez Torrente are not moving. So that... no, Van Nieuwenhuizen has got the car going again. So it looks like he will still be going in this race. Diego Alvarez Torrente does not seem to be moving at all. Oh, there he's going. But Nieuwenhuizen is in the wall now. He's gone going again, but he's lost a lot of time. So that's a big shake-up for the points there, where Greenlaw still leads. But that has allowed Terry Hawkin to catch up quite a bit. He's now just 2.4 seconds behind. Phillippe Nicolas is in 3rd place now, and that is Nick Neumeister up into 4th, with Mark Dagnall 5th and Thomas de Bock in 6th position, with Marco Yanscha just behind him in 7th. And they are the only 7 drivers to not have been napped at the moment. So that was an interesting situation at turn 1. No one retired from it, although at some point we thought it would happen. Shinobu Katayama is in the pits. She's nowhere, so it doesn't really matter at this point. We've got Jean-Luc Schiller in 9th place. We've got Terry Hawkin now 2nd. Lapping, I think that was Ukuragi. And Katayama has a spin coming out of the pits. Brilliant. Phillippe Nicolas in the pits, so that might... no, it's not going to put Neumeister up into 3rd. He's too far away. Katayama goes good. Let's go again. Breaks the front wing. So that's going to be a pit stop. that's not going to help her race at all, even though it was probably beyond repair at this point. Martin Ambrose in 13. And oh, Martin McFly's coming out to the pits, watch out for that. And Mark Dagnall's coming up behind him, and he's got so much time there. And that's not going to help him defend against Thomas de Bock at all. David Neuberg's up into 15th. That's something we haven't seen yet this race. Nicholas Thiel was in the pits. I think he was still running. I haven't seen the race at all. Simpson still running, despite his brief run-in with the pit wall. And Greenlaw was in the pits. Greenlaw had a pit stop, and that's leaving Terry Hawkin in the lead. With about 14.5 seconds advantage over Greenlaw. Phillippe Nicolas is over 20 seconds behind Greenlaw, so that is not going to be an issue at this point. And the question is whether or not Terry Hawkin will be able to keep the lead for the rest of this race. We have passed the halfway mark, we're on lap 44, and I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back shortly. Have missed something. It is Marco Janša actually pitting for the first time this race. He had actually not yet pitted by the time we've done our break. We are over halfway through the race, as a quick reminder, so that is a bold one-stop strategy for Marco Janša, and it seems to be paying off. He's still in the top 10, so this looks like it's going to be quite a good result for Marco Janša in what is, for all intents and purposes, his debut. He had one bite at the ARWS Cherry in 2016 with one start in Road America, where he retired, and that was driving for Yamaha. We have Diego Alvarez Torrente now in 16th place. It's a wonder he's still running, really, after all his run-ins with cars in the wall. That is Lucarelli, who is driving the chariot car and getting lapped by Nermester. I think, no, he's not getting lapped. That's actually a battle. They're 7th and 8th. Right. what happened to Neumeister? He's fallen right behind Lucarelli. They were well separated before this. Oh, that's what happened. Neumeister spitted. That explains. Oh no, that's a huge accident. It's Mark Dagnall and Thomas de Bock. That was for 4th place. What happened there? Mark Dagnall's lost it at the kink. He's just bounced right. He's going right into the path of Thomas de Bock. That is completely irresponsible from Mark Dagnall. Like, once he's lost the car, he should wait for other people to go through instead of simply speed back into the racing line. That is. And Mark Dagnall goes down in front of, I think that was Terry Hawkin. And Dagnall also decides to retire, which is a good idea because that was a crass move by him. So that's both him and de Bock out of the race, so that is going to change the fight for the points as well. Terry Hawkin does finally pit, so will that put Dan Greenlaw back into the lead of the race? That is the important question. So Greenlaw still hasn't passed, but Hawkin is staying in the pits. Now he's coming back out, and Greenlaw is in the race lead. Dan Greenlaw is now back in the lead, and quite handily too. Like, Hawkin has lost quite a bit of time in the pits there. Let's see how big this gap is. Nicolas still in 3rd place, quite a way back. But how far back is Hawkin going to be from Greenlaw? He has to let some cars unlap themselves at first. The timing screen says 3 seconds, but I don't believe that for 1 moment. We are back to 8 cars on the lead lap. Greenlaw leads from Hawkin, Nicolas, Schiller, Neumeister and Van Nieuwenhuizen, with Lucarelli 7th and Janssen 8th. Albertini's 9th, and it's Pascal, Lambert, Watkinson. Diego Alvarez-Torrente is going to inherit 13th place. And there's the gap. It's 11 seconds between Dan Greenlaw and Terry Hawkin. So that has played right into the hands of Dan Greenlaw. There's still 35 laps remaining, but it's a good opportunity for Dan Greenlaw to extend his lead and presumably win this race. So Alvarez-Torrente does inherit 13th place, and David Neuberg is 14th. Dagnall is still in 15th place. Such is the gap with Carter Simpson and Shinobu Katayama. There's Steele back up into 15th place now. So that's our top 15 at the moment. We will lead from Hawkin, Nicolas, Neumeister, Schiller, Van Nieuwenhuizen, Lucarelli, Janssen, Albertini, Pascal, Lambert, Watkinson. Actually, Watkinson is up into 12th place. I did not notice that. How did he get there at all? He was last for most of the race. Well, he's up into 12th, and only 1 lap down. Alvarez-Torrente is 13th, Neuberg is 14th, and Nicolas Steele is 15th in the Block Monster, with his teammate Lambrecht up in 11th place. Well, looking at his fuel gauge, it seems that was Terry Hawkin's last fuel stop. So, assuming Greenlaw still has to pit, that will be the race win for Terry Hawkin. Then he has this one pretty much sealed at this point. Well, unless he does use too much fuel and run out on the final lap, which is always a possibility. I remember the Macau Grand Prix last year, where Rhys Davies and Mark Dagnall both ran out of fuel on the final lap, the latter securing the championship for Thomas de Bock. And we have an official announcement. That is a 1 race ban for Mark Dagnall for attempting to rejoin the track without trying to rejoin the racing line after a spin without taking all the measures to avoid an accident, and for not stopping the car immediately, staying on the racing line and causing a non-voluntary collision with Terry Hawkin. So for both incidents, he has been given a 1 race ban and another suspended race ban. So I guess that is a well-deserved penalty. That was an absolutely horrible move by Mark Dagnall after his spin to just drive back into the racing line, into the path of Thomas de Bock. That was a very dangerous move. And it's a wonder that neither of them was hurt in the accident. But Hawkin is even catching up to Greenlaw despite his heavy fuel load, so I think it's fair to assume that Terry Hawkin is going to win this race. Greenlaw almost like to finish second. He's still quite a fair way away ahead of Phillippe Nicolas, who's in 3rd place, and I believe still needs to pit. Nick Milmester is 4th, Bastiaan Nieuwenhuijzen is in 5th place, Jean-Luc Schiller is 6th, and it's Marco Janša, who's only pitted once so far and probably will not pit until the end of this race. Jean-Vincent Albertini is in 9th place, Gregor Pascal is 10th in the Rosen 4th, then it's Cambrick, Swarkinson, Abrastorente, Norberg, and Steele. And just Greenlaw is just losing second after second. Hawkin is just 5 seconds behind him now. And Nicolas is also catching. He's only 12.6 seconds. At this rate, Greenlaw might even finish 3rd behind Nicolas as well. And Nemester is also catching, but he's almost a minute behind. He's not an immediate threat at this moment. Is Greenlaw having a mechanical problem, or is this just like earlier in the race where he simply lost pace for a moment and then regained it again? We'll have to wait and see. We have Shinobu Katayama, who is presumably in last place now, 17th, with probably Carter Simpson ahead in 16th. Both of them have had simply horrible races. Of course, Schiller lapping Toronto. Bastiaan Nieuwenhuijzen currently in 5th position. About 5 seconds behind Nieuwenhuijzen and 3 seconds ahead of Jean-Luc Schiller. So, in a pretty safe point of position at the moment. He would have been in 4th place at this moment if it wasn't for an absolutely stupid spin at the first chicane, something that has happened to so many drivers in the past, including today. He lost a whole load of time in that spin, which also involved Diego Abrastorente. So he should have been 4th at the moment, but instead he is 5th and under threat, in fact, from Jean-Luc Schiller. Not an immediate threat, but a threat nonetheless. It's now to less than 5 seconds now. So and it has been confirmed that Terry Hawkin has enough fuel to finish this race. It's pretty fair to say that he has this race won at this moment, especially considering the fact that Dan Greenlaw has loads of traffic ahead of him, so he's going to lose even more time now. Well, Nicolas losing time now, so he probably will not be passed by the Frenchman. But still, it was a good duel between Greenlaw and Hawkin both on strategy and on actual driving skill. They were fighting for the lead at some point and actually passed each other at least a couple times. But it seems that on strategy it's going to be Terry Hawkin who is going to win this race ahead of Dan Greenlaw. Now, shouldn't be speculating too much, there's still 29 laps remaining, but it does look really hard to. It is going to be really hard for Dan Greenlaw to actually jump Terry Hawkin with one stop still to go, while Hawkin is safe at the end of the race. I don't know what Phillippe Nicolas' strategy is. Like, I think he still has to stop once as well, which would mean he'd have to catch up at almost 14 seconds on Greenlaw, which is quite difficult for him, considering that he's pretty much on the same speed as the American at the moment. They've got Albertini on, I think. No, that's Nicolas, not Albertini, sorry. Simpson still running at 16. There's no flags there. What's going on? It's Hawkin! Hawkin stopped! What? Terry Hawkin is out to... I think he's... Is that mechanical failure? It looks like it. I don't think that was a spin. There is no damage. He's not far into the gravel trap. No, he's moving again. What's happened? Did he spin? You know, he's going again, so must have been a spin. He's reversing onto the track. Like, and he's fallen behind Phillippe Nicolas. I think Terry Hawkin might have just lost this race. He had the race in his hands on strategy, and he's just lost it on the stupid spin at the final hairpin. Oh my god. And he's fallen way back now. He's 40 seconds behind Dan Greenlaw. That's way more than a pit stop. He's going to have to go really fast now if he wants to actually catch, to get within a pit stop gap's worth of Dan Greenlaw. Torrente's in the pits, but that doesn't matter. I didn't really check how much of a gap a pit stop is. I estimate it's about 25 seconds. And he's over 40 seconds behind Dan Greenlaw, his Terry Hawkins. So it's going to be really hard for him to catch up. And in any case, it's going to be... Oh, there's a crash, and it's Wout van Aert. And Marco Janša! Oh no, Janša's going again. Looks like it. But Wout van Aert has spun out. Yeah, Janša is going again, but he's lost a lot of time as well. It's not a big crash, but will van Aert be going again? Yeah, I think they just got together, just put each other in the wall. No one else seems to have hit them, so that's a good thing. Janša is going again. But Will Lambert, he's still beached on the curb there. Is he going to retire from this race? No, he's reversing onto the track. He's still going. He's trying to reverse onto the track at least. But he has kept the car alive, so he should still be going through and hopefully finishing this race. But that is not how you get back. What's going on? Well, he's just broken his front wing. And that's his entire loop. And he's broken a wheel. That is the end of his race. What happened there? What just happened? In any case, that is the end of the Great Wall Conference race. Wow. David Neuberg hits. He was in 13th place. He obviously gained a lot of time and these race positions from there. Shinobu Katayama is up into 15th place. On those out. Greenlaw now has 21 seconds on Phillippe Nicolas and 40 seconds on Terry Hawkin. That's David Neuberg trying not to put it in the wall. Actually, Watkinson's in the pits. Not really much to talk about at the moment. Let's have a look at the top 10 again. Green leads with Nicolas second, third, and Master with a 6-second gap over Bastiaan and Nieuwenhuijzen. Then getting into the lapped points. Oh, and that is actually Watkinson in the wall on the first chicane. He's still going, and actually getting caught by Carter Simpson for the people. He's actually trying to unlap himself. Kuragi tries not to put it in the wall. This happens to absolutely everyone at the moment. And Torrente's in the wall. Great job. He's not had a good race. That's at least his third run-in with the wall at this point. I'll probably still keep going, but this is not the brilliant. This is not the best race in Jones Racing's history. Torrente's, that is at least his third incident so far, all without much consequence aside from completely ruining Carter Simpson's race. But there's also Mark Dagnall with his two unforgivable moves to take out Thomas de Bock himself and almost take out Terry Hawkin as well. Looks like Phillippe Nicolas has pitted, looking at his lap time. So that should be. So I think Nicolas and Hawkin now have done their final pit stops, but Greenwald still has to pit one more time, I think. So he probably does have enough of a gap to pit and still come out on top. So it's now Dan Greenwald's race to lose. Has not had any damage to his car, so probably will keep going. We have 24 laps to go now. Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen is on our screen now. I think we have Marco Jancha right now. No, he was lapping Martin McFly. It's a wonder McFly is still in the race. I mean, after his 2 consecutive incidents at the first chicane. There's Greenwald passing McFly, actually lapping him. He's about to lap Van Nieuwenhuijzen, who is running in 5th place. And after that, it's going to be Nick Nomaster ahead of him. So that should leave only the top 3 unlapped. Greenwald now has over 40 seconds on both Nicolas and Hawkin, who can safely pit and keep the lead at this point. How much? How long will it be? I don't know. Probably are, because the fuel reading says there's 5 laps remaining of fuel. And wait, Nicolas in the pits. Did he have a spin then and he just didn't catch it? I don't know. But Nicolas in the pits now, so Hawkins up into 2nd place. It is indeed Dan Greenwald that we're on board with, and he's got 4 or 5 laps of fuel remaining. No Mester's in the pits, so that is Greenwald lapping him as well. 17 cars remaining. He does have 4.5 laps left of fuel, so he is going to be pitting quite imminently, and that should leave him still ahead of Terry Hawkin and would put him in the race lead and presumably the race win with almost pretty much 3/4 of the way through. And that is that Katayama who's going down. That's a Venturi. I think it's Katayama. No, it's Albertini. It's Albertini who's just retired. He was in 9th place. And apparently my stream is lagging, so I'm just going to refresh it. Lucarelli's lost a front wing. And that puts Marco Janša up in P7. So brilliant job by the Austrian. Till the yellow flags waving, presumably for Albertini. Greenlaw now has 45 seconds on Terry Hawkins, so he's pulling away without having to pit. But he will have to pit, he doesn't have that much fuel left. Phillippe Nicolas is over a minute behind, so he's probably going to get lapped before Greenlaw pits. And whoever is fourth, probably will stay there unless he pits again. Schiller's 5th, Nicolas is 6th. And that puts Janša in 7th, then Pascal, Lucarelli, Watkinson, Albertini, Steele, Alvarez Torrente, Neuberg, and Katayama. I would not have thought to see Shinobu Katayama in 15th at this point. And she probably will, and she will move up to 14th with Albertini's retirement. That does mean she's only ahead of Carter Simpson. That was Lucarelli having a bit of a moment of pressure there, but he's still going. Torrente's in 12th place there. Neuberg is 13th. At least he's making it to the end of this race at the moment. We're anticipating Dan Greenlaw pitting in within the next 3 laps. Still a comfortable gap to Terry Hawkins once he comes out. Almost got to finish this race in 3rd place, and then Van Nieuwenhuijzen doesn't actually catch him. Martin McFly pits. Put it in the wall at the pressure game again. It's Gregor Pascal in the pits, which puts Janša still in P7. So I think he will likely finish in 7th place unless someone retires ahead of him. He's only stopped with the race. I think he is. Marco Janša is going to the end, so presuming there will be one more retirement in the points, that would be 0.4 million, which would be also news for the team as well as for Marco Janša. And that is Dan Greenlaw in the pits now. He's taking on 20 laps of fuel. That's plenty enough to make it to the end of the race. Lucarelli comes into the pits, and so does Dr. Simpson. The end of this pit stop. He's still in the lead. Oh, and Lucarelli has a big moment at the chauffeur as well, and so does Carter Simpson. So does everyone really. But, I think that's Steele almost running. Yeah, that is Steele running into the back of Carter Simpson as well. Torrente takes the opportunity to catch up to Steele. This is for 11th place. Yeah, the gap now between Greenlaw and Hawkins is over 20 seconds. That should be an easy win for Dan Greenlaw. It's his to lose now. It was Hawkins to lose, but he has spin a few laps ago and lost all of the advantage. Shinobu Katayama's in the pits. Phillippe Nicolas third place, I think. Now looking at him, I think that's Greg or Pascal. Who was that one? And Nieuwenhuijzen is less than 50 seconds behind Greenwald. I think he still has to pit anyway. So Greenwald is set for the end, so assuming he can keep the pace, he has this race sewn up. And Nieuwenhuijzen is in the pit, so he falls behind Jean-Luc Schiller. And might fall. He does fall behind Nicolas. And he does come up ahead of Marco Janša, so he is going to finish in the points. Watkinson's right there to try to unnap himself, but he probably won't. Yeah, Watkinson had a horrid start to the race. I think he had a tackle with Shinobu Katayama and has caught up since. He's in 9th place at the moment, while Katayama is down in 15th and 2 laps. No! What's happened? Dan Greenwald is out of the race. That's his car just refusing to work. He's just pulled up by the side of the track, and that's the end of his race. Dan Greenwald's out. And that is going to be Terry Hawkin leading this race again. Despite having done everything to lose it, he's going to win it probably. I mean, unless he can find another way to lose it, Terry Hawkin is going to win this race. Oh my god. What? No one wants to win this race. I don't get this. Cara was leading, then he got passed and then retired. Astoria was leading, that happened as well. Then Greenwald had it, but lost time, and Hawkin took it on strategy. Then he had a spin, then Greenwald had the lead, and now he's retiring. Terry Hawkin now leads, has a 17-second advantage over Phillippe Nicolas. Will he be able to stay ahead though? I mean, this just might go against him as well. But that puts Jean-Luc Schiller in 3rd place now, Nick Noormester in 4th, Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen in 5th place, and that is going to put Marco Janša in 6th place for Noorminen. That is this is an awesome race for the German Finnish team. There's Nicolas lapping Pascal, and I think that is Neuberg. It is Neuberg, obviously Reddison's retired, but the same. Schiller is in 3rd place and 6 seconds ahead of Nicolas, so he's relatively safe in this podium at the moment. Yeah, and Hawkin is pulling away from Nicolas at this point, so I'm not sure if this is the best strategy for him. He probably should be taking it easy and easing his way to the finish, just making sure he doesn't actually lose anything. Because at this point, he's taking a lot of risks, and those risks are quite unnecessary. He's got almost 20 seconds on Phillippe Nicolas and only 15 laps remaining, so he doesn't need to be pulling out this much of a gap. So Phillippe Nicolas at the moment is in a pretty safe 2nd place. And the yellow flag's there. What's happened? Looks like Watkinson. Yeah, Watkinson's just been there at the final hairpin. He's kept it off the barriers, he's still going. But that was indeed Ashley Watkinson just having a moment there at the final hairpin. Presumably he's still going, but he's lost ground. I think he's... No, I don't think he's lost position, though he does have Alessandro Lucarelli now, right behind him. Bastiaan is now 7th. Oh, but he has lost his part of his front wing, and that has allowed Alessandro Lucarelli to pass Ashley Watkinson for P8. Now right behind him is Torrente. It's not going to be much of a threat, but that is Terry Hawkin just yapping Ashley Watkinson for the 2nd time. And actually, Torrente is quite far behind Watkinson, so it's not that much of a threat at this point. And actually, Nicolas is gaining on Hawkin. Not very much, but he is. He's down to 18 seconds instead of the 19 he had a bit earlier. Could Nicolas be actually mounting a comeback? I hardly doubt it, but it could happen. I mean, everything's happened this race pretty much. So it would not surprise me in the least to see Phillippe Nicolas actually fight Terry Hawkin for the lead in the latter part of this race. 13 laps remain, and the gap between Terry Hawkin and Phillippe Nicolas is now 18 seconds. Watkinson is in the pits. Of course, he is using his front wing. He's going to fall. No, he's falling behind Torrente and Neuberg as well. So that is quite unfortunate for Ashley Watkinson as well, because he had to do the entire lap without a front wing. We've got Nick Nieuwenhuijzen here, who's in 4th place, and he's got Van Nieuwenhuijzen just behind him, who's trying to take that 4th place away. So this is going to be an interesting fight to see. It's the closest thing we have to the fight at the moment, at least for the points. I can't see on the timing screen how close Bastiaan is to Marco Janša, so I think that this battle for 4th place is the biggest battle we have. Van Nieuwenhuijzen does manage to outbrake Nieuwenhuijzen into the hairpin and takes 4th position. And they are still 6-7 seconds behind Jean-Luc Schiller, so they are not threats for the podium at this moment in time. But with 12 laps remaining and with gaps fluctuating so hard, they still might be a threat at some point. Or that, or one of the top 3 drivers could retire. So yeah, anything can happen at this point. Anything has happened. So it wouldn't surprise. Oh, that is David Neuberg on fire. That is a big engine failure right there. Haven't seen that in quite a while. That has to be the end of the Germans' race, and therefore the end of Kingfisher's race as well. That is quite a major engine fire. That is the what's the Great Wall, so that's not much of a surprise. But yeah, that is the end of the road for David Neuberg, as it was for Quentin Retherson earlier in the race for unspecified mechanical issue. So that is the end of the road for Class 1 Kingfisher Racing this weekend. But Marco Janša here in 6th place. Minding his own business. He does not need to pit anymore, at least I think he doesn't. So he is on for a well-deserved point. Well-driven race at the moment. He is coming up behind his teammate Martin McFly, who does not seem to want to let him through though. Janša is not under threat from Gregor Pascal as far as I can see, so he doesn't lose much from being stuck behind him, but might get frustrated and maybe take some unnecessary risks, and McFly does get him through. I want to say. But yeah, I was going to say this would be a very well-deserved point for Marco Janša. He's kept his head well on his shoulders for the entire race, and McFry's unnapping himself again. What's he doing? He should not be doing this. Janša is his teammate, he's quicker. And he is in the final points position. He should not be being held up by his teammate. And Terry Hawkin is coming through to lap the both of them. And Hawkin is indeed getting caught by Nicolas. He's only 13.5 seconds ahead now with 9 laps remaining. That's probably still too big a gap to catch up. But it is getting smaller and smaller. Could Hawkin be losing pace, or is it just the traffic? And I'm sincerely hoping just for excitement's sake, that he actually is genuinely losing time. There's McFry getting past by, I think that's Cooper Red. No. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, that was Cooper Red, I think. No, I sincerely have no idea what's going on with this one. That is Mark McFry. That is Gucciarelli who is gapping Mark McFry, so that is indeed what is happening. We've got Diego Alvarez Torrente there, Gregor Pascal in 7th place. Nieuwenhuijzen seems to have left no master in his dust and is catching Jean-Luc Schiller now. He's 3 seconds behind him. So that could be an interesting battle at the end of this race. Nieuwenhuijzen catching up to Jean-Luc Schiller for the final podium position. 8 laps remain, and at the moment the top 6 are quite secure from each other, but the gaps are reducing. It goes down to 12 seconds behind Hawkin. He's catching up, but not fast enough. Actually, he is. He's just 10.7 seconds behind now. What's going on? Is it just traffic for Hawkin, or is he genuinely slowing down? Or is Hawkin just that? No, Terry Hawkin is out of the race. What's happened to Terry Hawkin? No, he's just pulled over. He's just pulled over. That's the end of his race. And that means that Phillippe Nicolas will take the race lead. Phillippe Nicolas has taken the lead of this race with just 7 laps remaining. And that's going to be Jean-Luc Schiller in 2nd place. And Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen is going to take 3rd place in the Gauthier. And that is going to be Schiller and Nicolas in 4th. Marco Janša is going to be 5th. And Van Nieuwenhuijzen is catching Schiller. He's less than 3 seconds behind now. If Van Nieuwenhuijzen can pass Schiller and Nicolas also retires, which honestly would not surprise me anymore, Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen could win on his debut, which would be awesome both for him and his team. Marco Janša is going to inherit 5th place. Gregor Pascal presumably will be 6th. I think he's quite far ahead of Alessandro Gucciarelli, so that would be a point for the Rosenforth team. So many things have happened this race. I don't understand what's going on anymore. It's just too many things happening. I need some water. Wow. So, looking at the standings again, Phillippe Nicolas, the Frenchman, leads the race at the moment. He's on course for his 8th victory. Jean-Luc Schiller is currently 2nd, over 20 seconds behind. Purely on track position, Nicolas has a very safe lead. Van Nieuwenhuijzen, the Dutch rookie, is catching up. He's 2.5 seconds behind Jean-Luc Schiller. And 6 seconds behind them is Nick Nurmester in the new Killer Up car. Marco Jansen is a long way behind them in 5th place on a one-stop strategy, no less. And Gregor Pascal has indeed inherited the last points playing position in the Rosenford. 6 laps remain. This race is just absolutely staggering. Shinobu Katayama is out of the race. And I think this reduces the field to 13. That is indeed Katayama stopped by the side of the track, so that's the end of the race for both Venturi cars. Albertini was in mechanical failure a few laps ago. So going through the full order, it's Phillippe Nicolas, Jean-Luc Schiller, Bastiaan, Nieuwenhuijzen, Nick Nurmester, Marco Jansen, Gregor Pascal, Alessandro Pirelli, Diego Alvarez-Torrente, Ashley Watkinson, Nicholas Steele, Martin McFly, and Carter Simpson. And that is actually 12 cars remaining. That is what's going on, and it probably will be more goings on. Like, there's very little cars remaining, but more action can still happen. There's any sort of retirements. At this point, the gap between Schiller and Van Nieuwenhuijzen is staying quite even, so I don't think it's going to be that big of as much of a fight as we anticipated. Only unreliability can actually affect these standings at this point, and it most probably will, even with 5 laps to go. We are looking at Jean-Luc Schiller in 2nd place. The Swiss driver with, I think, 1 win to his name. No, 2 wins. He's got 2 wins to his name. Managed to finish in 4th position in the championship last year. Really come a long way since his start in the sport in 2014 as a pay driver. The 31-year-old driver from Zurich. He is well on his way to another podium, and a really good start for the season for both him and Simpson Motorsport, especially considering the early retirement for his teammate Alexei Boivonov. So he's taken up the role of team leader, at least in this race. Marco Jansen being told on the team radio to simply stay calm. He is almost there, almost reached the end of his race, and the conclusion of a daring and brilliant one-stop strategy. He's made it work perfectly. He's kept out of trouble for the entire race. And he managed to save his fuel, and he has simply been on the pace, aside from some frustration at not being able to lap his teammate Martin McFly. He has kept his nose completely clean, and that is simply what happens when you make a strategy gamble work, and he made it work absolutely brilliantly. Yeah, Van Nieuwenhuijzen is still only 2 seconds. Still 2 seconds behind Sugar, so that's probably not going to change. Nurmester is still 7 seconds behind them, so that's probably not going to change either. Sugar's catching up to Nicolas, but not nearly quick enough. There's only 3 laps to go, and 18 seconds between them. Still taking a look at Schiller, not really much excitement at this point. Van Nieuwenhuijzen is going to end up being the best rookie this race, probably. The Dutch driver born in Maas Country in 1990, he's 28 years old already. Who has driven in most of the feeder series that were available. racing in F2 ARWS in 2015. Won the AR 3.5 championship last season, which got him a drive this year at Gauthier alongside the South African driver Danny van Rekens, who was the first retirement of this race. Yeah, there's only 2.5 laps to go now. Surely nothing else can happen that can shake up this race order. Surely nothing else can spoil the result for Nicolas, Schiller, Van Nieuwenhuijzen, Neumeister, Janssen and Pascal. This has been quite a race. From the start, Cara got pole and led for a bit, but had to relinquish that role. Fredo Mestorio had the lead, but retired, along with Cara. Greenlaw took the lead, but Hawkin got ahead on strategy. Then Hawkin had a spin, so Greenlaw had the lead on strategy as well. Then Greenlaw retired, so Hawkin had the lead. Then Hawkin retired, and now Phillippe Nicolas has the lead, and he's about to start his final lap. Phillippe Nicolas, the Frenchman from Marseille, he's 28 years old as well. He got his start in the F1 ARWS in 2011 as test driver for Daniel Melrose's racing team. And no, that is actually the end of the race. Oh. Ah. That happened. Yeah, so Phillippe Nicolas wins his 8th race in this series and takes the championship lead. Which means that Jean-Luc Schiller is going to take 2nd place in the race. Bastiaan van Nieuwenhuijzen is 3rd.